This is the last of the tomatoes on this section. The tomatoes here are not have now been really badly hit by the weather. The cold weather has been just too much for them to survive. But I think we just have one more harvest out of this, and then we are calling it a day for those tomatoes. These ones are still showing signs of growth, so we're hoping these will come out just after winter, but some have already started fruiting, so we're not too sure what is going to happen now with the winter coming through. So we will see as we go along and give you an update. As I say, this is also a learning curve about tomatoes that we're doing in this section. There are times when we do tomatoes and they come out well, and then there are times when we just probably miss the planting dates. So I think we actually did miss the planting dates for these tomatoes, but we'll see as we go along. The onions have already started bulbing, so the onions on their own right now have already started showing real big bulbs, so we should be having quite a good section of onions. This year I actually do miss farming at the dam, because if the water had been there, we would surely have got a very good result of onions this rain season. Because now the dam is gone, now there's nothing there. There is absolutely no water at the dam. So the dam, in kind of a way, it being washed away, has created a gap for us. The cabbages are now starting to bulb. They're now actually starting to show signs of fruit, which is already inside. So these ones, probably a month or so, they should be ready to be harvested. As I said, this year also we did a very small area for the cabbage. We're also learning something new, trying to understand cabbages, because the last time we have been growing cabbages, they've never bulbed, or if they have not bulbed, they've always had some kind of diseases that they're being faced with. So through here we have now got the potatoes. The potatoes are actually showing tubers in most of the rows these ones are already really starting to mature underneath. We have actually plucked one or two to see the progress of these potatoes. These ones are showing good signs of a good harvest for the potatoes that we're going to get from these potatoes. So the potatoes I've got absolutely no problem with, but I think we're now being hit by the cutworm, because now there's some areas whereby you walk through and the plant on top is dying, but the potatoes are underneath, like here. This actually shows that there is probably a cutworm underneath there that has destroyed the potato, but underneath you will find potatoes that are there. So this is something that we're trying to address in the next few days. The watermelons, the ones that have already bulbed and shown fruits, are actually now doing well. The ones which are flowering, the flowers are just dying. It is getting cold this side. I don't want to lie to you, it is getting cold, and it is actually affecting some of the other fruits. I will get to the butternut and I'll show you what the weather is doing to the butternut. Some of the butternut, as you can see, the ones which are flowering, I don't actually expect them at all to produce any fruits. So those ones are kind of like a write-off. But here is what I wanted to show farmers by planting in winter. These cracks that you can see, these cracks over here, this is due to weather. The cold weather is cracking the butternut. So most of the butternuts are now being cracked due to the weather. The ones which the skins have not yet developed fully are now being cracked due to the cold weather that is now prevailing here. The ones that have already turned to the yellowish have got no problem, like this one, but the ones which are still whitish and still growing, those ones are being consumed by the weather. So this is just probably an update of, again, learning that it is a bit late, but that's why I say that we are learning. Next season we will most likely plant a bit early to see what happens. But all in all, this has been a good trial and error for some of the areas. Some other things have done, as we say, do well, and other areas have not done as well as we would like them to have done.